Shalom, shalom. It's been a minute since I really made a video and I sat down and went over some scripture. So I figured I'd share just a couple nuggets real quick. Not going to be a long video at all. Just wanted to go over a little bit of First Chronicles chapter 1. So I went through this before and as you can see, I got highlights and underlines and stuff too from the previous times I went through it. But I'm going back through the Old Testament and just some nuggets I wanted to pass on. So let's go ahead and go to the beginning where it's, giving lineage and stuff. So verse 1, Adam, Sheth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, right? Verse 5, the sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tyrus. All right, now check this out. Verse 6, and the sons of Gomer, okay? Now Gomer, it just says that is the sons of Japheth, okay? Now the sons of Gomer, the first son is named Ashkenaz. Ashkenaz. Does that sound familiar? It sounds like Ashkenazi or Ashkenazi Jews or the Khazars, so to speak, right? So, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz and Repheth and Togarmah. Now, I never really spent a lot of time dealing with genealogies in regards to the Ashkenazi Jews and Edom and stuff like that. I pretty much hit the points to give the bulk of the information that I need, and I move on because I'm not caught up in these bloodline heritage doctrines that's out there. But it was interesting that the Ashkenazi Jews or the fake Jews or however you want to call them, the ones that reside in Jerusalem and Israel today, actually were sons of Gomer. So their lineage goes back to Gomer, which goes back to Japheth. So they were not of the I ain't gonna say devoted or special, but they weren't of the bloodline lineage of Shem, is what I'm trying to get at, okay? Because Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, continuing on, right? Now, Javan was also a son of Japheth, right? Japheth, it says Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan in verse 5. Now, when you come down to verse 7, it says, and the sons of Javan, Elisha and Tarshish and Kiddim and Dodanim. Now, Kiddim, it sounded a little familiar to me from a couple of other scriptures that I read in the Bible, but mainly out of the Bible, mainly out of the book of Jasher, because Kiddim sounds like Chittim to me. So I had wrote here Chittim ? And I guess I never followed up on it because I ain't have an answer for it. So I quickly just looked up this verse in the lexicon, and it says word origin from an unused name. Definition, a son of Javan, also his descendant, and their land. And then it says Cyprus used 3 times, Kiddim used 5 times. However, when you come down to the Brown Driver Briggs, where is it at? Oh no, not the Brown Driver Briggs. The Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, it says Chittim and Kiddim are the same thing. Or Kitiyi, Patrio from an unused name denoting Cyprus only in the plural, a Kittite or a Cyprorite, hence an islander in general, i.e. the Greeks or Romans or the shores opposite Palestine, Chittim or Kiddim. Now, Chittim was an entire empire that was intermingled with the Edomites, and we'll get into that in a little bit because I'm gonna continue going on. I'm gonna hit on this. Now, Ham, okay, Ham, who's one of the sons of Noah, It says the sons of Ham, in verse 8, the sons of Ham, Cush and Mitzrayim, Put and Canaan. Remember Canaan? So the descendants of Canaan is the Canaanites. But Cush has descendants as well. And number 10, it says, and Cush begat Nimrod. Now we know who Nimrod is, right? He began to be mighty upon the earth. In verse 10. But look at, let's see. And number 11. And Mitzrayim begat Ludim, Animim, sorry if I'm messing up these names, and Lehabim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrusim, and Casluhim, and Casluhim, it says in parentheses, of whom came the Philistines. Now we know the Philistines were constantly in conflict with Israel. They was Israel's biggest enemy throughout many years, right? And we know that they worshiped other gods. We know that they weren't Israel. They were different people. They were separate people. But if you look back to the origin, Israel's origin goes all the way back to Shem, right? And these people came from, it says, it came from Misraim, right? Because these are sons that Misraim had. And the Philistines came from that. And Mitzrayim came from Cush, and Cush came from Ham. So essentially, Shem's descendants and Ham's descendants was at war with one another. And it's kind of ironic because, you know, if you go back to the original, when Ham uncovered the nakedness of his father, Shem was present also. So it's just funny how that works out, right? But continuing on, right? You keep going down the lineage of Shem. You get Abraham. Obviously, Abram was his name at first, and it was changed to Abraham, and it goes down there. All right, so let me go to Esau. So verse 34, and Abraham begat Isaac, the sons of Isaac, and the sons of Isaac, which is Esau in Israel, and the sons of Esau, Eliphaz, Reuel, and Jeush, and Jalem, and Korah. And the sons of Eliphaz, Teman, and Omar, Zephi, and Gatam, Kenaz, and Timnah, and Amalek. Now, Amalek is very significant because a lot of people who are dealing with this Esau's the white man doctrine, they read what the Most High instructed to do to the Amalekites, which were descendants of Amalek. Because we understand a lot of times whole lands are named after whoever moved in there first and dwelt there, right? So Amalek, where he dwelt, that nation became the Amalekites, but they're still Edomites because they are descendants of Esau. Now, like I said, with the doctrine, they say, oh, well, Edom is all going to burn, and we need to kill Esau, and we need to kill the Edomites, all the Edomites, because the Most High instructed us to do so. And I've made a video. Matter of fact, I'll put it in the description below in regards to what the scripture says. The Most High instructed for the destruction of the Amalekites, specifically the Amalekites. It didn't talk about nothing about the entire nation of Edom, right? Obviously, Edom is broken up with Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jalem, Korah, Teman, Omar, Zephi, Gatam, Kenaz, Timnah, and Amalek, right? So you got 12 separate sons who all have their own lineages and nations that they started, right? You can't bundle them all up and apply all of Edom to what was specific for the Amalekites. And that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on. I don't want to go too deep. We already hit 10 minutes. I didn't even want to do 10 minutes, honestly, but take some time, go into the Chronicles, look at the lineages. You'll be surprised what you find, especially if you look into the lineage of the Messiah and you kind of see who's in that, because that's some good stuff too. But yeah, keep in mind, I mainly, one of the things that mainly stood out to me was the Philistines, the origin of the Philistines. We were basically, warring against. I don't want to say Africa because that would be not 100% accurate, but a lot of African nations, the origin goes back to Ham, and it's like those we were bumping heads with. But nowadays, you got Israel bumping heads with everybody they can find that they can attach a false doctrine to. So yeah, man, y'all just keep reading, be encouraged, and I hope this at least brought at least one question in your mind. So go ahead and check it out for yourself. Shalom.